Hey there, I'm Alice, and I've been living in San Francisco for the past 5 years. I love cafes, and I recently started a job as a barista, so I'm always looking for a great spot to spend some time in. Whether it's editing videos or working, a cafe is always on my list of places to visit when I have downtime, but in San Francisco, you'll often find more coffee counters than cafes where you can actually stay a while. Rent here is so expensive that many coffee shop owners choose to invest in their product, the coffee, over the environment and the space. Today I'm visiting 7 cafes which have been shown on social media to be great remote work spots to see if they actually live up to the task of being a space where you can work from. Here are my key criteria for how I'll be judging them. Starting off with the menu. Is it super expensive? Are there a lot of options? Is there a quality to the food items and the drinks? Workability. Do they offer Wi-Fi? What are the noise levels like? Could you take a work call from here? And is the seating conducive to staying a while? Location. Is it easy to get to via public transit, or is it a spot where you can easily drive and park nearby? And overall, is it a good vibe? It's always more exciting to go to a cafe that feels really peaceful and like you're gonna get a lot of focused work done, and it changes things up from working at home. So let's get started. The first cafe we're visiting is Verve in the Castro. I've been here a couple of times, and one of those times was to meet up with a friend to do work together. I've noticed it's a little bit hard to get a seat on the weekend depending on what time you come, so you might have to wait for a little bit, but they do have both table seating and couches if you bring your laptop. There is free Wi-Fi and a bathroom with a code, so you can stay for a while to get work done, but I personally wouldn't leave my things at a table without somebody watching it. Their drink menu has a good amount of variety and reminds me of other specialty coffee shops in San Francisco. I had a specialty drink called the Citrus Bloom, which reminded me of a cocktail because it had a lot of citrus notes and wasn't really sweet, so it highlighted the flavor of the coffee. The space is fairly comfortable, but it doesn't necessarily stand out in any particular way. There's a lot of wood and some pops of color in the cafe space. It is accessible by Muni, but parking is a little bit difficult in the area. Depending on how many people are around, there might be some noise, but it was actually on the quieter side of the cafes I visited. I was able to feel myself talking without much difficulty. Overall, I'd put this cafe in the B tier because you can get everything you need to do work here, but it's not really a cafe that stands out to me as a favorite spot. It's Verve and it's not super high on my list, but it does get the job done. After Verve, I visited the Capital One Cafe on a Monday, and they do also happen to serve Verve coffee. Right now they have a collab going on with Major League Baseball, so you can actually get a free drink on Mondays, and that's really why I went. I was unemployed at the time, so it's a nice way to get outside and grab a treat while also saving money. It goes to show how much marketing budget Capital One has, because you don't have to be a Capital One customer to get a free drink. You just fill out a form and add a coupon to your digital wallet, and then you can scan that at the cafe on Mondays. The space itself is pretty cool too, but because of MLB Mondays, it was pretty packed. I've been here a couple times and it was packed both times, but I eventually got to sit down. I just came about an hour before closing and it starts winding down enough that you can eventually get a seat. I managed to grab a table and the noise levels were actually low enough for me to feel myself talking, so you definitely could take a call here. There's 3 floors, all with seating, and then there's a bathroom on the bottom floor. I got a cherry vanilla matcha and it was okay as a sweet treat. I make matcha at home, so I'm not expecting a cafe matcha to be exactly how I like it to be made, but it was pleasant and I got it for free. If you have a Capital One card throughout the year, you can also get 50% off on the menu and use some of the perks, like you can book workspaces, but I'm not a customer, so don't know too many details about it. I put the Capital One Cafe in the A tier because I liked it more than Verve. It definitely is more conducive to remote work, and there's a lot of options for food and drink. The next cafe I visited was the Social Study, and I came to meet up with a friend. The vibes here are pretty unique compared to the other cafes we've seen so far. It has this academic bookcase look, and it actually becomes a bar at 5 o'clock, so if you want to get work done, you should come before then. I don't think laptops are allowed after 5. Like many cafes in SF, the cafe owners just want to prioritize connection, so they don't allow laptops at certain times. I didn't use the internet today because I'm catching up with a friend, but I did have a really good chai latte here and we were able to chat for a few hours. There's a bathroom, and on the weekday afternoon that we came, it wasn't super noisy, so you could take calls. There's also plenty of seating and food options are available, although I didn't really try this today. The surrounding area doesn't feel the most safe, and parking is a little bit tricky, but some bus lines will take you here for sure. Overall, I'd put it in the A tier because I had a nice time, and I could see myself having a longer work session here if I'm in the area. It's definitely a unique spot with a good vibe, but I don't see it as one of my top favorites in San Francisco. It took me way too long to visit Andytown because I haven't ever lived close by enough, but my partner used to work in the Salesforce tower and this is one of his favorite cafes. It's immediately clear why, because the space is pretty calming and the proximity to the Salesforce tower means the environment feels super conducive to work, even on the weekend. I saw a lot of people journaling here and having coffee chats, which made me feel right at home. Additionally, there's bathrooms here, and there's something distinctly San Francisco and healing about the space decor and cleanliness. I think it's all the imagery of nature. I tried the snowy plover today, which is their special drink, and I was amazed that it's not overly complicated, but genuinely just a wonderful drink. It's a coffee soda made with brown sugar syrup and a quenelle of dense whipped cream on top, and the cream was really delicious to sip with the soda, which wasn't overly sweet. It felt like it was a special treat, and I had a vegan brownie to go with it. Admittedly, it's not the easiest to get to if you don't work or live in the area. We had to take a lift because trying to drive to the Salesforce Tower and park somewhere near there is just a bad idea. But I really love this cafe. I put it in the S tier. Next, we're going to coffee shop in the dog patch to get some work done. I've been here a couple times and the coffee is decent but doesn't necessarily stand out to me. My partner doesn't really like their black coffee, but the lattes I've had taste okay. They aren't necessarily special. There is more of an atmosphere for work here. I see a lot of people coming here with their laptops, and there is a bathroom in the cafe. I'm pretty sure there's Wi-Fi as well, but the baristas have been a bit busy every time I want to ask them about the password, so I haven't quite used that yet. They are a bakery as well, so I always get a pastry whenever I'm here. The 2 pastries I've tried have been pretty good. And also, it's a really easy neighborhood to drive to and park in, so I'm giving coffee shop an A rating for a spot to work from. The Buoy in Hayes Valley has been in my feed time and time again as an underrated Korean cafe in the city that's perfect for your remote days. But when we went, we did not have the best time here. We came around lunchtime on a weekend, so we didn't get to try their salt bread, which is bound to sell out very quickly. But the beef bowls we had were definitely like SF prices and had some bitter radicchio in them that we don't really like. That was alright, but then the matcha Einspanner disappointed me the most. For some reason, mine just tasted extra milky, kind of like when milk is nearing its expiration date, and there just wasn't enough matcha in it. The strawberry matcha my partner ordered was a little bit better, but still not like outstanding. It's a cute cafe. The vibes are great, but it does get pretty noisy and vibey on the weekends. They kind of dim the lights and play a Korean movie on one of the walls for the atmosphere, which is really fun, but I just wouldn't be able to focus if I were sitting here with the laptop. Maybe we just didn't have as good of an experience as others have had, but I'm putting the Buoy in the C tier. Oh my god, don't kill me. We ended up going to Loquat a couple blocks away after this, and we just had such a better time there. It's not even really a cafe that's meant for working from, but we just had a better time. That being said, the Korean cafe in San Francisco I would recommend is Sohn, located in the Dog Patch. And it's a popular spot, so you probably have already heard of it, and you should expect to wait outside a little bit before being let in. But once you're inside, you can stay as long as you'd want. I came in the afternoon on a weekday and got a bar seat because I was by myself, and it still ended up being fine for getting some video editing done. I ordered the kimchi fried rice with a hojicha cream top, but I've also had their breakfast sandwich, the gochujang caramel cookie, and a banana matcha from here. I would recommend the cream tops over the banana matcha, but that's just because I thought the banana flavoring was a little bit too sweet for me that one time I got it. The food here though has all been outstanding, whatever I've ordered, and the space is generally really nice. It feels spacious and welcoming, and it just feels like a great spot for hanging out with friends. It does get a bit noisy, so I wouldn't take a call from here, but it's a great spot if you have time to wait for a little bit and then you can have a super focused afternoon. I put Sohn into the S tier because I think it's a great spot to meet up with friends for lunch, and then you can all have a work session together all afternoon. Here's the final tier list for today, but I have many more spots on my list that I really want to visit. Let me know what cafes in San Francisco are your favorite to work from and where I should check out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!